Hi, welcome to Go Digital website. And in this episode, we're going to speak about notary public advice, customer audience, and blog ideas through Go Digital website. As a public notary, you would like to have a website so people notice you that you are available to work as a public notary. Public notaries have different responsibilities as public notaries. They have to be stamping documents, legal documents for different signatures, and as well, the public notary is responsible of be the main witness when the legal document is signed. There are many different types of legal documents that must be signed as a public notary. And the regulations and everything that has to do with the public notary work depends and varies depending on the state you are a public notary. So to get started with the blog ideas and the customer audience and how to plan a website blog post, we have to know our avatars. And first of all, we have to know the notary public avatar, the customer audience avatar. What is going to be my blog's post about? Know your areas of work. Know who are your clients. List a blog post that you're going to write about. By having a blog post, your customers in the search engines as well, they gonna realize that what are the areas that you cover as a public notary, that you have a target audience in your website, in your blog post already written, that you have the responsibilities to work for this type of audience that will hire a public notary. It's important that you give out the responsibilities and write down all the responsibilities as a public notary. This way, the search engine algorithms, they can search or crawl your information, and they can verify that you are a public notary and that you have the education level as a public notary. Okay, so to get started with the website, you can simply go to godigitalwebsite.com and get a domain name registration, web hosting, whose privacy, and SSL. Watch Notary Public SEO website planning, Go Digital website YouTube channel. If you want to know more of how to get a website, especially for a public notary. And if you're planning to get a no extra cost website, you can simply watch our videos on how to do a website with no extra cost. We'll have basic modules, basic products, basic blog, basic contact form, basic format, and how be search engine optimized. And if you're planning to have a more custom design or more advanced website, you will have to pay the extra cost, whether it's going to be for a page builder, the Envato elements, WP Rocket, and free basic JOS SEO, premium JOS SEO, and prices vary on other templates. So it's your decision. You can easily get started with Site Builder with no extra cost and start publishing all of your information as a public notary that you're serving the state that you are licensed to work for, and simply just write down your information that you have to and responsibilities that you do as a public notary. Okay, so if you're planning to hire a web designer to help you out with this, you can always contact website designer at godigitalwebsite.com. Okay, so we're going to follow on the different blog ideas and the public notary advice. So you have to know your notary public customer audience. This way you can get started in getting customers find you as a public notary. So first of all, you have to know my avatar responsibilities and procedures as a public notary. First of all, public notaries, they have to be witness signers. Make sure that witness signers appear. That's one of the responsibilities as a notary public. And as well, check IDs. So make sure that you're gonna write something that tells your audience that you are doing this as a public notary, that this is your responsibility. They must know that as a public notary, you are licensed and you know the different responsibilities and procedures that public notaries do in order for get stamping legal documents. If you don't tell this or you don't write down this in your website, most likely people they're not going to trust you. So it's important you have all that information written in your website. And as well, you have to tell them that you do the notary journal. What is the process? When you're gonna sign someone, witness someone, and sign the witness, and you're gonna tell them how the notary journal works, and you're gonna tell them which state you are licensed to work as a public notary as well. So you have to do working state. You have to add this, the state that you work for. And as well, you have to tell them that you, as a public notary, you are confirming the identity of the different signatures. So you have to make sure. So you're gonna do acknowledgements. You have to tell them the process that a public notary have to take in order to do an acknowledgement. And as well, if the acknowledgement cannot be done, you can, as a public notary, you can tell them, okay, so we do jurats and we do the oath here, and this is how we do it here. And you have to explain your customer audience, what is an oath, what is a jurat. You have to make sure you let them know this, and you have to include this in your website. This way, your website is more legal and have all the legal information that guarantees that you are licensed as a public notary. It's going to guarantee your work and everything. And as well, you can include your level of education. You don't have to, but it's optional. Whether you have a bachelor's degree, high school diploma, or you have a master's degree on something, you can always include it here. And as well, you can include your license details. And it's important that you tell them that, okay, so I'm licensed to work for the state here as a public notary, and just tell them the requirements that you did. Just put the license details, your requirements to be licensed as a public notary. Just include this in the website. It's important. This way, people who are going to hire you know they are going to hire a legal public notary, because there's no way that a public notary should be not notarizing documents without being licensed. So it's important you let them know this in the website. This way your customer audience, they know that you are legally working as a public notary. All right, guys, so now we have to know our customer audience. So to learn more about our customer audience avatars, who are my customer avatars? So we have to find out which type of documents we sign and we stamp, and what are the responsibilities. Also here, the as a public notary, my avatar responsibilities, you have to include this here. We do not sign, we do not stamp documents that includes the name of the notary public. Just telling this because you never know if a customer they want you to include you in the document. So it's illegal to include your name in a document. You are just going to be working as a You are only going to be working as a notary public. You're going to be the main witness, and that's it. You don't have to do nothing with the documents. You don't have to take participation with any monetization or nothing that has to do with the different transfers or the legal documents. So you have to include this and tell them that you do not stamp document that includes the name of the notary public, and make sure you know this because you might get in trouble if you do something like this. So make sure you don't do this. Okay, guys? All right. So the customer audience. So it's important as a customer, you know the customer audience, and you have to know what are the types of documents that you are going to be signing for. So the first 10 types of documents that notary public stamp. So there's the power of attorney, passport parental consent, quitclaim deeds, deed of trust, unclaimed property form, application for duplicate title, affidavit of forgery, parental consent for travel. So, okay, so we're going to come here and do our search. What is power of attorney? So we're going to write a blog post that has to do with the power of attorney. The authority to act for another person in a specified or all legal or financial matters. A legal document giving power of attorney to someone. So you can study this document and write something. What are the requirements that you do as a public notary to witness this power of attorney legal document? You have to tell them the process, the acknowledgments, what are you going to do as a public notary. So we're going to go back to the so we're going to go here. So we're only going to do a few of them. Okay, you're going to write this here, power of attorney, and just going to put it here. So make sure you do power of attorney. And make sure you have this document. What is the process? What type of people will sign a power of attorney? And as well, make sure that you have all this information in your blog post as well. My avatar responsibilities and procedures, okay? And make sure that you have your blog news here, coming back to the homepage and links back to the homepage, and use tags. Use different tags that differentiate the different blog posts. And this way you can have here the power of attorney procedures, and then you're gonna put the just tag here. The tag is going to be power of attorney. So for example, you have this as the tag here. Let's write down the color here, different color. So this is your tag. And you might have this one here, power of attorney procedures. And then you're going to go here. And let's say, for example, you have a second blog post that has to do with the power of attorney. What type of people needs gets a power of attorney? Or you can include this same thing here in your same blog post, okay? So it doesn't matter how you do it here, but you just telling you here. So right here, you're gonna do tag power of attorney. So this way, these two blog posts here, they're gonna be together. So they're gonna be working together, and they're gonna have a link back to the homepage, okay? So this is an example of how two different blog posts, with the tag power of attorney, they are combined together, okay? So it's important you uh, consider putting tags in your blog posts, okay? So that's for the blog post. And so we go here, the witness signers appear. So remember that you have to do something blog post that has to do with your avatar responsibilities, okay? So it's important, let's include it here. Let's include it here, my responsibilities, okay? So we're gonna have it here, and then we're going to have the number here, and simple. So you're gonna write down acknowledgements, witness. So you can put all of these in one blog post, okay? So you can put responsibilities and procedures and just make it like that, okay? Just you can easily make a page where all the responsibilities and procedures, and just make sure you explain your customers this, okay? What is the customer responsibilities and procedures, okay? So you just write down my public notary blog post, the title, and then you do the acknowledgement, you explain them, you do a list of different paragraphs. What is the acknowledgement? What is the witness signer appear? And let's go here. Notary journal. Confirming identity. Check IDs. So you have to tell them, like, do a list of paragraphs, okay? What are your responsibilities, okay? So it's important that you include this in your website, because if you don't have this in your website, most likely they're gonna come and they're gonna call you here, and it happens to everyone, you know? It happens to everyone, and you don't wanna be the exception or to be excluded, and someone tell you like this, okay, so I don't think you're ready. It happens to a lot of people, you know. They get started on a business where they're not ready to do a job, or they don't have they have the license and everything, but they don't have the level to be a public notary. To get started as a public notary, most likely that you want to be experienced, and you want thinking that you are going to learn through experience. But most likely, if you do your research and you have a good level of education, you're going to do your research, and most likely that you know going to know how to perform your job duties as a public notary. So it's important that you have all this information in your website, because, for example, let's say somebody that has a high level of education wants to hire you as a public notary, and they realize that you are a public notary, but your level of education might not be the uh, like high enough or something, the most likely they want to know that whether you are available to perform the responsibilities and procedures as a public notary. You cannot be a public notary without performing these responsibilities and procedures. So it's important you know your duties as a public notary, and as well your customer audience. They want to know that whether you have knowledge or the experience to be taking care of these responsibilities and procedures as well. So if you are new, the most likely they want to know if you have the experience to do perform as a public notary. So it's important that you have all this information, your responsibilities and procedures. This way, the people who are looking forward to hire a notary public, they know they already know because they went in through your website. They say, okay, this website they can do all the responsibility and procedures. The most likely nothing is going to happen here, so I'm going to hire them here, and there's not going to be any misconceptions or something, because as a public notary it's important that all documents, when before getting stamped, they have to be according to responsibilities and procedures as that notary publics have to take. So it's important you do this, okay, guys? So if you're starting out as a public notary, or you just want to do a website for the public notary, it's important that you have all this information, that you have to do your research before you write down your website. This way the customers, they can trust you as a public notary. And also you have to do the working state. So make sure that you are not trying to be hired from a different state or anything, okay? So working state, you have to include what state that you are licensed, and then you do the oath. You have to explain them that you're going to come work as a public notary, and are your procedures and all this information and requirements and responsibilities, okay? So it's important you list these responsibilities and procedures in one page blog post with all this information here, okay? So it all depends what state do you work for, but that's how you are going to list the, so you as a before you get licensed as a public notary, you have to know your responsibilities and procedures. And uh, so if you want to promote as a public notary, you have to tell them that you are going to have these responsibilities and procedures. Okay, so we're going over and over with this. Okay, okay, so we go like that, and then we have to continue with my notary public blog post. Okay, so we have the power of attorney procedures, tag power of attorney. What type of people gets a power of attorney? And let's go here, and you have to find different variations that has to do with the power of attorney. You're going to learn that through experience. You're going to maybe learn that what type of people going to hire you, maybe a grandpa or somebody, a grandma or someone, or someone that is disabled. And there's many ways that sometimes people have to sign the power of attorney, okay? So let's go back here, and let's go here. And another one types is going to be passport parental consent. So what is passport parental consent? So we're going to have here children age 16, 17. Both parents must appear with child under 16. If one parent cannot appear, an authorized consent must be obtained from the non-appearing parent. So most of the time, if a child that has not reached the adult age, they have to be giving the passport to an adult, maybe a guardian, maybe another parent or something like this. So they have to make sure that they don't lose this document, or someone is going to take care for them this document. So most likely that you will have to go and write something with this here, that so you know how to notarize this document, and you're gonna make a blog post that you are willing to work doing this document here. So I'm gonna do, let's go here. So it's gonna be passport parental consent, and it's gonna be like that, and then you're gonna say procedures. and you're going to explain them because the documents here, the documents, they have different duties and responsibilities, why this document is being signed and giving the consent to someone else, you know. So you have to go, simply go do a research. You have to do a research, what is this document about, and you're simply going to explain the procedures and maybe the what type of people you do the same, what type of people will get this. You will say parents and other parents. Sometimes the couples, they are divorced and they want to send their child to a different, with their husband or maybe the wife, the ex-wife house, but they have to make sure that the passport is stays safe, you know. So they're gonna have this document signed before the child visit the either the ex-wife or the ex-husband. And sometimes they go with the family and so on. Okay, so you have to make sure that you do the your research about this document here and just put a blog post about this, you know, because sometimes the children, they are doing some sports, they do some sports, they are very good at athletics, they could be gymnastics, they could be basketball or anything that they are taking participation in a minor league or something or someplace, and sometimes they have to go play outside the state. So it's important that this document, you want this document to be signed this way, just make sure that your passport stays safe, okay? So this could be the school and so on. So let's go here. Let's go back to the, okay, so right here, so power of attorney, passport, parental consent. So you're gonna have your different audience here. This could be athletes. So we're going to do sometimes here athletes. Children and so on, okay? So this is what it's going to be about, and then you're going to target the audience here. It's going to be parents. Most of the time with the parents, when the parents, they want this to be signed, they tell them this, okay, you have to find a notary public, so you get this signed and witnessed by a public notary here, and they're going to start searching the internet. They're going to start searching the internet for a notary public, and if you have this information in your website, most likely that they are going to hire you. They are going to hire you because they say, okay, so they know about this, they've done this job, they are experienced with this document. So they say, okay, so I want to hire them because they have this in their website. So most likely they're gonna hire you if you have this piece of information in your website. Okay, so over here, this could be for, this could be someone that is disabled. This could be someone that is uh, the adult, incompetent, someone incompetent, and just like that. Okay, so make sure that you include this type of, what are the type of people who will need this this power of attorney. And parental consent, you can say here, okay, for athletes, minor league athletes, and as well when divorce and stuff like that. Okay, so it's important because they're gonna let them know. Okay, get a notary before you send them to your ex-husband house. Get a notary. And the first thing they're gonna do, okay, so they're gonna search the internet. They want to know whether you have the experience and the knowledge to get this document stamped, okay? So it's important that you have this blog post as a notary public. Okay, so let's continue with the other public notary. So you're gonna do a quit claim deed. So we're gonna come here. What is a quit claim deed? What is a quitclaim deed most often used for? Quitclaim deeds are most often for transferring property between family members or to cure a defect on the title, such as misspelling of a name. So this could be two things, you know. Sometimes they have the document signed or someone misspelled the name and you want to curate this document and you want the witnesses to appear that this name is misspelled but the witnesses are there to witness that the misspelling is want to curate the misspelling. So as a notary public, you have to know this if they're going to transfer property between family, and so you have to make sure you're going to do this here. Okay, so you're going to do the quit claim. So you're going to do quit claim procedures. Okay, so and the list goes on and on. Okay, so you do the quit claim procedures and what are the type of people. Something like that. So you have to vary, do different variations. Well, however you experience working as a notary public, you have to include this. You can get started with the power attorney procedures and the quit claim procedures, password parental consent procedures, and but just include them here in your blog post. And if you find out different variations, how to write a new blog post, why not include it here and just include it here. Okay, so you're gonna do the quit claim, and then right here you're gonna do tag. Like right here, your tag is gonna be quit claim. This way, the different blog posts that has to do with the quit claim, they are here. Okay. So it's important that you have these tags here so you can have the easy navigation. Okay, so let's go here, the quit claim. All right, so let's go to the other one. So deed of trust. So we're going to find what is deed of trust. So I think we skip this one. Okay, what is the purpose of a deed of trust? A deed of trust is an agreement between a home buyer and a lender. At the closing of a property, it states that the home buyer will repay the loan, that the mortgage lender will hold the legal title to the property until the loan is fully paid. Okay, so you can always, the real estate agents or brokers, most of the time they're gonna have this document and they're gonna ask the lender and the home buyer to get together. They want to get together because they want to stamp this document before they do an agreement between a home buyer and a lender. So they have to make sure that this document is being notarized. So it's important that whoever is going to hire the notary public knows that you are a notary public that you know your responsibilities and procedures, and that you are able and you have the experience as a notary public that you are willing to do this, take part on this document, be witness and stop this document. So let's go. Deed of trust. So we have the deed of trust. So we're going to have deed of trust here. So you're going to write down the procedures, and you have to tell them the procedures and everything that you're going to do, whether an acknowledgement that you read, and you're going to check the IDs and all that, okay? So it's pretty simple. You just have to include your responsibilities and procedures as a public notary, and they will know here that you are willing to do this here. And most likely, if they say, okay, so this public notary, like for example, you're going to have the type of documents that you sign here in your page. So if you are willing to do a website, is make sure that you're going to watch this here, the watch Notary Public SEO Website Planning Go Digital Website YouTube channel. Over here, we're going to explain you more details about this area here. And you're going to include your documents here, what type of documents you're going to do in your one of your main pages. And over here in your blog post, you're going to explain the different procedures that it takes for a deed of trust and to be witness or be notarized or whatever you want to call it. And before getting stamped, you want this and all this, and these are the requirements and all that. And if the as well, if one of the witness does not appear, you cannot proceed with notarizing this document. So it's important that you have the witness they come by, because if the witness does not, one of the witness does not show up or the signer does not show up, you cannot proceed with this document. You want to make sure you don't get in trouble and lose your license. Okay, so it's important you explain this to them, because if you don't have this piece of information in your website, they're gonna come by and visit you without being ready. Maybe a witness is gonna be missing. They don't know. Sometimes they're not gonna bring their photo ID or something. So you wanna make sure you make the money, because you're gonna sign this paper and you're gonna make your money doing your notary public services, okay? So it's important you explain them all of this information to your customers. If they call you over the phone as well, you can always just say, just explain them, make sure they have the witness, they have the document and everything, okay? So it's important. And also you have to tell them the documents that you have to, what are the requirements for the document and everything, okay, as well, because you don't want them to bring you a document that is not, they cannot be stamped at all, that is missing one of the acknowledgments or something, or that you have to, if it's missing this, you have to create an acknowledgement paper or something, whatever you're doing, okay? So you as a public notary, you must know all this. You are licensed to be a public notary, so you must know this, okay? So it's important you include all of these blog posts in your website, okay? Okay, so let's continue with this. So we have the deed of trust. So make sure you write down about it. Okay, so we go with the types and unclaimed property form. So we have this. And what means unclaimed property? Unclaimed or abandoned property refers to property or accounts within financial institutions or companies in which there has been no activity generated or contact with the owner regarding the property for 1 year or longer. So I don't know much about how this document works, but if you are a notary that are familiar with this, most likely that you want to include this type of service in your website or something, the maybe the family member they go someplace, visit and stay over there. They never return or nothing. We don't know what happened here. And the family member wants to say, okay, this is unclaimed, abandoned property. We cannot find our relative here. Never come back, never show up again. So we want to get the property. They could be a daughter, it could be a cousin, a brother, or someone. We never know how this works here, but this is how it's done. If you are familiar with this, just include it in your website because most likely, if someone comes and wants to hire, they say, okay, we want to go to the real estate broker as someone. They might know about this. We're missing our dad or something and we're going to do the we want this notarized because we don't know what happened here and they do this thing here and they do the unclaimed thing here and they want to be notarized so they can take the property or something, so they do the unclaimed. And let's go back here, let's go unclaimed property form. So we don't know how this work here, I don't really know, but the I don't know what the who can take part of this. Sometimes the how they do it. So if you as a public notary, you know how the you have experience, just make sure that you do this here or just if you someone might be looking for you and whatever. Let's go here the change the color and we do the procedures, okay? So you have to make sure you include the procedures here and they do all this notarize everything, okay? So let's go here. So application for duplicate title. So we're gonna do application for duplicate title. Affidavit is over here. So the application must include a completed documents, appropriate fees without condition, duplicate title, the cost replacement title. If you do not send this out, make sure have check money order reading the services like license. So sometimes they have the marriage, they have two, the husband and the wife and they have this vehicle that costs so much money or sometimes they have a house joined together but the house has the only one title, the property has one title but they want to duplicate this title because the house belongs to the husband and to the wife, so they have to make sure that this document before they witness together in front of a notary public. So let's go here. So they want to witness that they both of them agree that they both own the house. So they want to get a duplicate title. So they duplicate this title and they hire a public notary. And most likely this happens all the time. The, there's a lot of customers going out through these duplicate title procedures. And if you are a notary public, you must include this because there's a lot of marriages, they want to do the duplicate title for their home, maybe their vehicles, a lot of personal property, whatever business or everything. Okay, so it's important that they know. Okay, so they're looking for a notary public. They say, okay, look at this notary public. They do duplicate titles procedures. So let's hire them. Uh, and this tag duplicate. So it's important that you do this here. So you come here and you say documents. I take care of this document, duplicate title. And you come here and they say, okay, we want to read about the procedures. And you just send them to this post here and you explain them all the procedures, okay? You do the tag as well. So right now I want to stop doing the tags here, but make sure you include the tags here, okay? I explained you how to do the tags in the blog post. And if you want to learn how to do a simple search engine website, you can always look at at godigitalwebsite.com. Just go to godigitalwebsite.com and come here, down here, and do the SEO website planning, how to make a simple search engine website 101, submit simple website to search engines and local search. No extra cost, simple website. All you have to do is register your domain name, web hosting, and get an SSL certificate, privacy, domain, and everything. Okay, so it's important that if you want to get started and if you are already licensed as a notary public, that you think ahead, that you are wanting, that you are going to promote yourself as a notary public because you want to get customers and you want your customers to know that you have the experience and everything, that you are licensed and you have the level of education to take care of your customers, the documents. Okay, so it's important that you do a website if you're going to get started on being a notary public. Okay, so just go visit godigitalwebsite.com, and uh, you are more than welcome to visit our YouTube channel or just come here and watch this SEO website planning 101, how to make a simple search engine website 101, submit simple website to search engines and local search. And let's go back. Okay, so we were doing the application for duplicate title. Now is so there are more different parental consent for travel. So we're going to do this. So a child travel consent. Give a minor child permission to travel without both of their parents or legal guardians. Okay, so sometimes the childs they participate in gymnastics or maybe baseball or like in a minor league soccer or volleyball, and they have to go outside the state and go play so they want to know if they're going to win the championship, and they have to get this a child travel consent, give the minor child permission to travel without both of their parents or legal guardians. So sometimes the school officials or maybe the coach or someone, they want to take responsibility of your child because they're going to travel to participate in a competition or something. So they're going to be looking for a notary public, the parent. And most likely they want to do this. They want to get this here document signed, and usually they have the parent coming by and sign this paper and just keep it and just give it to someone. I don't know how this document, whether the coach have to be here or something. I don't know how it really works, but they have to do this. They do it somehow. I don't know if the parent has to be only, or I don't know exactly who has to be the witness and the signatures, but the school, most likely they have this document, or maybe the coach, and they want you to come and get it notarized with the public notary, and just receive this and just do it. Okay, so you want to come here and you're going to have this document signed, travel consent. And as well, sometimes you have to go with the ex-wife, with the ex-husband, and they do this travel of consent. Okay. And there's more documents that you might be doing. And let's go like a grand deed. So a grand deed is used to legally transfer ownership of real property and is an official record that the title is clear. So, for example, you might be selling your property to someone, and so you're going to hire a real estate broker to represent you as a seller. And you want to make sure that you are going to get paid before you transfer all of this property to the new owner. So that's why they're gonna hire the notary public to come here. So let's go 10. Oops. They're gonna hire the public notary, and you want to explain in the procedures. And they want the real estate broker and the seller as well, everything. So want to make sure you're going to get paid before you transfer the property to the new buyer or to the new owner. The so it's important. It's more like a bill of sale kind of thing, But in vehicles, you don't have to do the notarize. But for grandees, for real property, you have to get this notarized. So if someone is looking that is selling a house or might be buying a house, they're gonna be searching the internet for someone to reach out for an appointment so they get this notarized. And if they see that you have the grand deed procedures in your website, most likely that they are going to hire you because they say, okay, this public notary, they have the level of education in order to make sure that this document get notarized correctly. Because you never know, the, the people they're always finding for someone who can they trust. So it's important that you have all this information in your website so your customers they can trust you as a notary public. Okay, so tag, and you're gonna have it like this. Okay, and then so I was not gonna do the tag, but I did it. Okay, so we got this here and so on. So make sure that if you want to proceed with writing your blog post ideas, that you go ahead and research your avatar. My avatar responsibilities and procedures. You have to know your responsibilities as a public notary and your procedure for the documents. And you have to know this and make sure you include this in your website. Your customer audience avatar. You come here, the different documents that you're going to include here, the passport, the parental consent, and make sure you include all of these different ones here. The power of attorney, the quit claim procedures, and you include them here somehow. The quit claim procedures, the quit claim here, grant deed. And when a husband, before they even the marriage ceremonies, they want to notarize the marriage ceremonies sometimes. They want you to do the marriage ceremony, so they're gonna hire a public notary. And if you do the marriage ceremony uh, documents, you have to let them know that you are willing to do this here. So you're gonna choose your customer audience. You want to do this type of documents. So you're gonna let them know, okay, so I wanna be making marriage procedures and you're gonna include it in your website. If you don't do this document, don't include it. But if you do, just include it in the document section. And if you want to learn more how to start your simple search engine website, just go ahead, watch Notary Public SEO website planning, Go Digital website YouTube channel. Just search for it on the YouTube channel. And if you want to hire a website designer to help you out to get started in a more custom CMS WordPress website with the extra cost, just contact website designer at godigitalwebsite.com to see how we can help you. And if you think you can do the simple search in your website yourself, just go ahead and get started in making your own website. All right, so let's go here and to make sure you follow this call to action SEO diagram and you link the when you do your blog post, go links back to the homepage, you do your tags, and make sure that you do one blog post like responsibilities and procedures. You do the acknowledgement, witness of signer appear, just explain why you have to do an acknowledgement, why you want the witness signers to appear, and you explain in different paragraphs why this is have to be mandatory, okay? And the notary journal, confirming identity, check IDs, working state, whatever state you are licensed to work, perform as a notary public, and oath and jurat, okay? So it's important you explain them all of this information. This way your potential prospects and customers, they know that you have the level of education and you are licensed as a notary public and they can trust you as a public notary. Okay, guys, if you are a public notary, you're watching this video, I wish you the best. And this is it for notary public advice, customer audience, and blog ideas. And I wish you the best again and have a beautiful day. Take care, guys. Bye.